Make a motion to come out of executive session at 6:35 p.m.
I'll move it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Executive session. Start the board meeting. First item is call to order. Second item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next item up on the agenda is the adoption of minutes, January 2nd, 2025, and January 9th, 2025. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes?
I'll move that. I'll second it.
Everybody had a chance to read them?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next item up is citizens' comments. Are there any citizens would like to make a comment tonight?
Is that on? Yeah, Fred Birch, Plainville Road. Regarding the discussion tonight at the work session about members of the board interested in taking the public's vote away from them on an elected position, if you were interested in doing that for, say, highway position, why wouldn't we also entertain doing that for, say, the clerk's position? Wouldn't we be able to look throughout all New York State and pick the best possible candidate for that position? And so I know that there's a deputy clerk there, but as far as I know, and I can recollect, our current clerk has fired at least 2 of her deputy clerks over the past few years. So not every deputy clerk makes the grade. And so, and I think the clerk before this one quit in midterm, and we had to scramble around to do so. Why don't we also entertain putting the clerk position on the public referendum to vote in January or June as well? Does that make sense? Why would we split the baby? Makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, it's your opinion.
It's okay, it's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So we saw what happened when the board tried to take the vote away from the public, what was it, 12, 13 years ago? And the entire Lysander Republican Committee showed up and held the signs in the back row, "Don't take my vote away." Somebody gave me one of those and I still have one. I'll see if I can break it out for the next meeting. The next thing I'd like to talk about is open meeting laws. Who owns this building?
The town of Lacey.
So the public, it's a public building?
Yes.
Okay. Is this room, this auditorium, a publicly accessible room in a public building?
Yes.
Okay.
Except when there's court.
Except for when there's court, correct.
devices.
Correct. So, U.S. Constitution, First Amendment, freedom of press. Whoever wants to record in a publicly accessible room, in a public building, can do so at their pleasure. Doesn't matter if a town board meeting is going on or not. As a matter of fact, there could be an election going on. And if somebody wants to come in this room and sit in the corner with a camera and observe, as long as they're not looking at a ballot, they can sit there the whole night.
As long as you're in the public part of the building, I believe you're correct.
Absolutely correct. So at the end of the previous meeting, somebody on the board asked me if I wouldn't mind shutting off my camera. And if people on the board can remember, I did without an instance, no argument or whatever. If I want to record with that camera until the second I walk out of this room and walk down the sidewalk, I have the right to do that. I understand people's feelings get hurt.
Well, as long as you have control of that camera.
I have, absolutely. It's just like a drone. As long as you have control of it, you can control that camera. You're not physically touching a drone when it's up in the air recording, but as long as it's in a public space, you have the right to do that. So I have a very expensive watch here that controls that camera. And as long as I have control of it, shut it off, turn it on, record, change the settings, That's my right. And I understand people's feelings get hurt. But last time I checked, feelings don't trump constitutional rights. If they did, we would be no different than, say, the country north of the 38th parallel, North Korea, or Iran, or China, where those places you can't record in public. That's what makes our country a little bit different. As a matter of fact, all 5 English-speaking countries, for those who don't know what they are, United States, Canada, Great Britain, New Zealand, and Australia. All of those 5 countries have the same specific right. It might not be called the First Amendment, but they have the freedom of press to assemble, speech, religion, and redress your government. You can't sparse it. You can't cut it in half and say, well, we want to meet here, this political group or whatever, we would like to meet here at our convenience and have freedom of speech, but we don't like your freedom of press. And you can't do it that way. It's all or nothing. And as soon as we all understand that, you know, the quicker we won't have an issue with it. So, am I correct?
Right, but I also have the authority to tell you where you can record from in this room. We can dictate through the freedom of the press where they record from.
So you're saying a patron who's sitting in the seat, a taxpayer who wants to break out their phone and start recording, you can tell them to go stand in the corner?
Yes.
Has the board ever done that before? Can you recollect a time?
No, but when you have a standalone piece of equipment that normally sits up at the microphone, I can ask you to put it in the back corner of the building. You kept it near you, which is fine. I deem that acceptable.
Okay.
But that's, if you read the rule, we can dictate where it goes. PAC-B normally sets up right there or behind the town engineer.
Have they ever set up in a different area to your
Yes.
recollection?
And if the board, if the town supervisor chose to have them move to a different place, they could be moved to the different place. It's not restricting their freedom of recording video speech. It's just asking them to record from a certain area to not allow someone to trip over someone's personal equipment, which then could get damaged by a town employee. And I know you have vast experience in that.
Well, fortunately, this one's good to 40 feet depth. Okay, so if somebody were to conspire with another person and come over and accidentally trip and pour their coffee on my camera, it wouldn't work with this one because this one's protected. So we don't got to worry about that anymore.
Right, but it's still going to be knocked over and fall, so that's why you have the record from a certain area so your own personal equipment does not get damaged.
Okay, would you be able to make that, I know my time, would you be able to make that information available, print out so that I could see a copy of it that says, you know.
That I can direct
yeah,
their
I'm not saying it's not,
recording.
I just want to read it, okay? Because that part of it isn't in New York State open meeting bylaws, as far as I know, which I've completely read, and also our Constitution, the first one, I haven't seen it there. But if you have a town policy that says that you can do that, I'm not sure if a policy would trump a constitutional right, but I
understand, Frank. Is there anything else?
That's it. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else willing or wishing to speak tonight? Citizens' comments. Okay, seeing none, we will go on to town board comments. Councilor Moore.
All right, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, everyone who is watching on PAC, and I would like to thank people for coming out to the work session as well. It's important that the things that we talk about, other than agenda items, is heard by a wider audience as well. So thank you for coming out early to our exciting meetings. I'll just stick to the agenda tonight.
I just want to say thank you to Mr. Reeves for stepping up, filling the gap that we had at the town of Lysander. I appreciate all your experience, your hard work and dedication that you did to the town previously, and the knowledge that you do bring to the highway department. So thank you.
Next up on the agenda, supervisors' comments. Just a couple things I would like to comment. I'd like to thank Ken Sweetak for his service. Appreciate him for the work he did for 3 years. Wish him well at his next endeavor. I'd also like to thank Mr. Reeves, Bruce Reeves, as we appointed him last Thursday to fill the remainder of the term. He graciously accepted the offer to assist the town. For those who don't know, he was the highway supervisor, had retired in 2012. He, like I said, graciously is helping us out in the middle of winter here, and jumped right in like he had never left from what I've seen in the last week. Thank you, Mr. Reeves. We are going to put on the website, because as much as Mr. Reeves decided to jump in, he said, as soon as you find somebody that I can jump out, I'm also willing to do that too. So we are going to, he's worked with the town clerk about creating a packet of elected highway superintendent, what some of the jobs and duties are, so we can get that out to the public for people that would be willing to maybe fill it for the rest of the year. The next item, just wanted to remind people, tax receivers hours, town of Lysander, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. You have until January 30th, pay without penalty, and 31st, I apologize, without penalty. There is a drop box at the front of Town Hall. Put your name, address you're paying the taxes for, and even a phone number in case there's a question or discrepancy in the total, and your bill, your tax bill. If you want it mailed back to you, make sure you check the box on the bill saying you'd like your copy returned. That being said, I did get a call from the highway secretary after we've had a lot of snow to plow this week, and that reminds me, I forgot Mr. Reeves and department head, so I'll go to him once I'm done. Trash cans. I know most of the people have the municipal cans that get grabbed by the grabbers on the trucks. We've had some issues with them being out on the roads. We're just asking, if you look at your road and your street, keep that can behind your, in line with your mailbox. If you put it out past that, you got a great chance of it getting hit and damaged by a plow, and that is not the town's responsibility. I know some of the trash haulers have called this week, so I know some of those items are new to people. So look down your road, look at the mailboxes, keep it back there. Those arms should be able to grab them from that distance. Just, well wishes, obviously, Mr. Dinsmore is not here yet. He has until the end of January to sign his oath. So well wishes to Gene. As far as I know, he is still under the weather. That being said, I accidentally skipped our department head, Bruce Reeves, Highway Superintendent. Bruce, is there anything you would like to say to the public?
Did you get my message today? I hired a new guy.
Yes, I have his name written down to add it to the motion tonight, effective
He's starting Tuesday.
January 21st.
Yeah.
Trenton Malambry, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
He a lot of experience. Looked good to me.
Yep, that'll be motion B. Add him.
I'll stay here as long as you guys need me. If you find somebody you think's good enough, yeah, I'll be out the door before it opens. But I'll stay as long as you need me.
Okay,
Anyway.
thank you. Town clerk, I forgot.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I was gonna give a report, actually, January 2nd, of some of the business that we had done in 2024, just a little recap.
Sure.
And I did put our dog license report on for the entire year of what we took in and how many dogs and that kind of thing. So that is on the website. So I'll start out with our ashes in Chase Cemetery. So we did 4 of those burials of ashes at $1,200. We did 1 full burial at $825. We did 45 certified marriage licenses, $450. For dogs, we did $10,888. We had 20 exempt dogs, which means they are like emotional support dogs, or there's letters from the doctor, that kind of thing. So we keep track of all of that. Female spayed, 737 dogs. Female unspayed, 37 dogs. 715 neutered male dogs and 79 unneutered male dogs. We did 3 driveway permits at $225. We sold 17 easy passes at $425. We sold 50 duck stamps. We did 2 foundations in Chase Cemetery at $739. We did 87 marriage licenses at $1,470. We did 9 one-day officiant licenses at $225, 9 trash hauler licenses at $250 each, $2,250. As far as racing and wagering, because we have bingo in this town, bell jar, and games of chance, we did $1,119.74 in wagering fees. The proceeds from bingo were $702.24.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Town attorney.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. We'll move on to regular agenda items. Motion, and I will add the motion B to hire the new MEO. Motion A, can I get a motion to declare the mini fridge as surplus, tag number 1325.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Fridge died this week. It had a good run, but it's not worth repairing, being a small fridge. But it had a tag, so by property standards, we have to declare it surplus. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Motion B, I'd like to get a motion to appoint Trenton Malambri as a highway MEO with a start date of 1/21/25 and pay per union contract. I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. Mr. Reeves had informed me today, we had put a new highway MEO position in the budget. So he's been on the look since, and he's got somebody to start next Tuesday. Great job, thank you. We appreciate him coming in. Hopefully we'll get to meet him. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. That being said, I'd like to get a motion to end the meeting at 6:52 p.m.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
So more, Councilor Ferraris. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you and have a good evening.